Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, ever merciful. Assalamu alaikum. May peace and blessings of God be upon you all. Happy Canada Day. My name is Sarmad Ahmed, and on behalf of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at, Ottawa, I welcome you all. Thank you very much for joining us today for celebrating Canada's 153rd birthday. Before I begin, I'd like to recognize the Algonquin Nation on whose traditional territories we are gathering. We acknowledge them as the past, present, and future caretakers of this land. It is our tradition to start the event with the recitation of few verses from the Holy Quran. I would like to invite Muhammad Salman Alada to recite a few verses from the Holy Quran and present the English translation.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله يأمركم أن تؤدوا الأمانات إلى أهلها وإذا حكمتم بين الناس أن تحكموا بالعدل إن الله نعم يعظكم به إن الله كان سميعا بصيرا يا أيها الذين آمنوا آتوا الله وآتوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم فإن تنازعتم في شيء فردوه إلى الله والرسول إن كنتم تؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر ذلك خير وأحسن تأويلا. I shall now present the English translation of the verses just recited. Chapter 4, verse 59 and 60. Verily, Allah commands you to give over the trusts to those entitled to them, and that, when you judge between men, you judge with justice. And surely excellent is that which Allah admonishes you. Allah is all-hearing, all-seeing. O ye who believe, obey Allah and obey His Messenger and those who are in authority among you. And if you differ in anything, refer to it Allah and His Messenger, if you are believers in Allah and the last day. That is the best and most commendable in the end.
Jazakumullah ta'ala. Thank you very much, Muhammad. I would now request the French translation be presented by Basil Janjua.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Je vais maintenant vous présenter la traduction française du Surah An-Nisa, vers 59 et 70 Saint-Coran. En vérité, Allah vous commande de céder les charges à qui de droit, et quand vous jugez entre les hommes, de juger avec justice. Et assurément, ce à quoi Allah vous exhorte est excellent. En vérité, Allah entend tout et voit tout. Ô vous qui croyez, obéissez à Allah et obéissez aux messagers. Et à ceux qui ont de l'autorité sur vous, et si vous êtes en litige sur n'importe quelle question, référez-la à Allah et aux messagers, si vous croyez en Allah et au jour dernier. Cela vaut mieux et est excellent par rapport aux résultats. Jazakallah.
Thank you very much, Basil. For opening remarks, I will request Imam Luqman Ahmed to please come to the stage.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon all of you. Good morning, hello, bonjour. As you have heard, my name is Luqman Ahmed, and on behalf of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at of Ottawa, I'm glad to welcome all of you to our virtual Canada Day celebrations. It's different from how we hold them in usual years. These celebrations are basically held every year at this location in our mosque at Batun Nasir Mosque, where hundreds of people in Ottawa, our neighbors, our friends, they come together to celebrate Canada Day with us. Given the circumstances, we decided to hold this event virtually this year to keep the tradition alive while hoping and praying to God that for normalcy, for things to get back to normal as soon as possible. So just again, I would like to thank all of you for joining us this morning and spending your valuable time with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Imam Luqman. Now we will do the flag hoisting. I will transfer the mic over to Mr. Coordinator. After the flag hoisting, national anthem will be presented by our youth.
I'll request MP Francis Druin to do the flag hosting for us.
Thank you very much. I will now invite Imam Farhan Iqbal, missionary in charge of Eastern Ontario, to let us know about the importance of Canada Day and how we Ahmadiyya Muslims celebrate this great day nationwide.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the gracious and merciful, all the distinguished guests who are present here and those who are online, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon all of you. First of all, I would like to thank you, as my colleague has just thanked you as well, for joining us for this very unique and special kind of event. This event is one of my favorite events in Ottawa, and normally we have 1,000 people or more showing up. So we are definitely missing that this year, that a lot of people are not able to come join us. But I do hope that many of us, many members of the community have joined us online. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at, has had this honor for a long time now to hold this event, to hold the Canada Day celebrations in Ottawa and other cities across Canada, where all of us come together and enjoy. In the religion of Islam, this kind of community activity is actually quite encouraged, as the Quran also talks about treating others with justice, with kindness, with compassion, and to treat others as if they are like your relatives. Even the strangers should be treated as if they are your next of kin. This is in chapter 16, verse 91. So this verse is a direction for Muslims to behave in a manner that promotes and delivers justice, and to relate others with kindness and compassion, something that is found in all faiths, to treat others the way you would want them to treat you. Each day, this directive should be adhered to, but given the crisis that we are in and the world is facing the pandemic, this message becomes even more important. In the midst of this pandemic, our Canadian values of integrity and compassion towards others become all the more important. I share with you a small quotation that I often share at these kind of events. It's a quotation of the promised Messiah, Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, peace be upon him, founder of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. He writes, "It is our principle to have sympathy for the whole of mankind. If a person sees that a fire has broken out in the house of a Hindu neighbor and he does not get up to help put it out, I tell you truly that he is not of me. If one of my followers sees a Christian being killed and he does not go to rescue him, I tell you truly that he is not of us. I say it on oath and in truth that I have. It is our obligation to have sympathy for the whole of mankind." So today, in accordance with these teachings, as we celebrate Canada Day, we try to put out those fires, the fires of the pandemic. We put out the fires of anxiety and stress and mental health problems, and challenges that people are facing. We try to put out the fires of racism that exists in our societies, and we come together as neighbors to fight our common enemies. Due to the challenges we face, it is possible that some feel disheartened, but we must remember a core message of the Quran that I've shared many a times, and that is, surely there is ease after hardship. Surely there is ease after hardship. The Quran teaches us that when we face challenges, when we face difficulties, we must be patient and we must turn to prayer. And so we pray to God that He takes care of our country, our amazing, beautiful country, and rids us of this pandemic. And we also pray in the words of Hazrat Mirza Tahir Ahmad, the fourth caliph of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, who said on one occasion, all the way back in 1989, "My prayer is that the whole world becomes Canada, and that Canada becomes the whole world. May God make it so. God bless Canada." Thank you.
Thank you very much, Imam Farhan. We have some distinguished guests who are with us today to celebrate Canada Day. I will now request Mr. Fahim Afan to please come forward and introduce our respected guest. He will also be inviting some of our guests to say a few words.
Thanks, Armat. Assalamu alaikum, dear friends and distinguished guests. May the peace and blessings of God be upon you all. It's Canada Day. It's time to engage in celebrations and parties and enjoy this beautiful day, which reminds us the precious freedom that we got as a gift for the sacrifices made by our countrymen. It reminds us all that how blessed we are. We are proud to be Canadian, a homeland of equality, freedom, justice, and tolerance. As Bill Clinton has once said, and I quote, "In a world darkened by ethnic conflicts that tear nations apart, Canada stands as a model of how people of different cultures can live and work together in peace, prosperity, and mutual respect." This year, Canada Day has come during a worldwide health crisis. This means we cannot celebrate this day as we were used to, but it doesn't mean that we cannot celebrate it at all. In fact, it is very important that we celebrate this day by checking with our friends, neighbors, and fellow Canadians to see if they need any help, to ensure them that we will be there for them whenever they will need us. We can all be grateful to God for living in this great country of ours, Canada, home of the strong and free. It is important to remember that while this is a very difficult time, but we are in it together. We Canadians are stronger together, and we will get through this together. Happy and blessed Canada Day, everyone. So we have several guests, respected guests with us today. Some are here with us, and some has joined us virtually on Zoom. I'll invite some of these guests to say a few words. All these guests are very good friends and of our community, and they're always here to help us. I'll first like to invite the MP from our local riding, where our mosque is, MP Francis Drouin, who is Member of Parliament from Glengarry, Prescott, Russell. Mr. Francis.
Thank you, Fahim. And I think the last time I was here, we had a big snowstorm outside, and we had a good dinner inside. But it's good to be back. And I want to acknowledge my colleague, provincial colleague, on Zoom, Councillor to the best riding in the world, Glengarry, Prescott, Russell, and also my federal colleagues, MP Lalonde. I almost called her MPP Lalonde, but Marie-France and Chandra, I know you're good friends here, and thank you for taking the time to come here. As we celebrate Canada Day, I think it's important for us to reflect upon what it means to be Canadian. And I know for me, no matter your religion, no matter where you come from, and no matter your color of your skin, with a little hard work, we can prosper in Canada. Of course, we need to work at this constantly, but I think it serves as a reminder that we need to stand up to hatred and racism in Canada. And the Ahmadiyya community has the best message: hatred for none and love for all. I think it's a strong message. So thank you so much. Happy Canada Day, and it's so good to be at an event. So thank you. Merci.
Thank you, Francis. Our next guest speaker is Member of Parliament from Nepean, Chandra Arya. He's a very good friend of our community, and I was used to live in his riding, and I was used to bug him a lot, but I think he's thankful that I'm gone from there now. Chandra.
Assalamu alaikum. Happy Canada Day to everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here, both in person and participating in the virtual ceremony. In Ottawa, in Nepean, we used to have the second best Canada Day celebrations in Ottawa. Obviously, the one on the Parliament Hill was the best, with hundreds and thousands of people joining it. But in Nepean 2, we had 15 to 20,000 people with whole days of activities for the children, for families, and it was a great one. However, this year is different. We know this pandemic has shown that we Canadians can unite. We can face the challenges together. During the last 4 months, we have shown how we can collaboratively tackle the challenges that are thrown at us. We have shown that we can come out of this crisis well. We are halfway through the mark, and I'm sure that going forward, we will continue to work together so that we all pass this crisis peacefully and hopefully not without much cost. Ahmadiyya Muslim community is a great example of what Canadians are, and whether it's the Ahmadiyya Muslim community or whether the Hindu community or the Jewish community or the Christian community, in Canada, we are all one. We are all of the same level. We work together very well, and this is one occasion we see that we are there. And thank you again for inviting me, and it's my pleasure to be here. Happy Canada Day to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandra. Our next guest speaker is MP Mary Frances Lalonde, Member of Parliament from Orleans. She used to be the member of Provincial Parliament, and we have been bugging her since she became the member of Provincial Parliament, and she's like always there to support us. I'd like to welcome MP Mary Frances.
Thank you. Merci, Fahim. C'est vraiment un plaisir. Bon matin. Good morning to all of you. Assalamu alaikum. Year after year, we have this wonderful event here that brings together our community. And I say our community, our Muslim community, but also the Orleans community. So as a member of parliament, attending my first event as a member of parliament, it gives me great joy this morning to wish you all Happy Canada Day. Bonne fête du Canada à tous. Nous sommes dans des moments d'incertitude, very much extraordinary time. But when we are together, and I like the phrase, we are one. And I really believe that this Canada Day, although we are apart, we are together. Merci beaucoup, et à toute la communauté d'Orléans, bonne fête du Canada encore. Merci. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary France. We also have a guest who is the member of Provincial Parliament from Gregory Prescott Russell, the riding where our mosque is. She is with us virtually. She's joining us virtually. So I will transfer the mic to her so she can say some comments. Just give me 1 second and Amanda.
Okay, is it working? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hear me? Okay, great. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure for me to join you. As we've mentioned, this year we're doing it a little bit differently, but I think we can be even prouder this year to be Canadian because of everything we've been through together. I like to see the positive in things, and this has allowed us to reconnect with ourselves, to reconnect with our faith, and there are nothing but good things that can come out of that. And so I sincerely believe that we will come out of this stronger. And thank you for sharing your values, your principles, for contributing to this great country. And let's keep on making Canada the best country to live in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. It was a pleasure to have you with us today. Our next guest speaker is the person who we know for a long, long time. She's the counselor from Orleans, not Orleans, Innis Ward, and she's also the deputy mayor. I'd like to invite Councillor Laura Dudas.
Merci beaucoup.
Bonne fête du Canada, tout le monde. Happy Canada Day, everyone. You know, it's been 4 months. Who could believe it's been 4 months since the pandemic came to Ottawa? 4 months ago, we were living our lives. We were sending our children to school. We were going to work every day. We were getting groceries normally and not having to wait in lines. We could hug our family members. We could go to long-term care facilities and see our family members who were there and take care of them personally. Everything has changed, and it changed so rapidly. But we have risen to the occasion. We have seen people who have gone out of their way to get food for their neighbors, that have been making masks to donate to their community. We've seen healthcare workers who have separated themselves from their own families just so they could go into work every day and help others. We have seen businesses try to donate food to hospitals, even when they themselves were not making any money. This has been a test of us as Canadians, as Ottawadians, as people. It has been a test of our faith. It has been a test of our strength. And, you know, there's no denying that this pandemic has wounded us. It has wounded us, but we will recover. And I can confidently say that because we have seen that in the actions that people have been taking every day these 4 months. We will continue to take them because as my fellow dignitaries here have said, we are in this together. We will overcome this. Adversary will make us stronger. So once again, this is an opportunity this Canada Day to be with our families, to stay apart and protect each other, which is what we do so well as Canadians, is to take care of each other and to celebrate what makes our country great. So bonne fête de Canada. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here, and take care of each other. We will get through this together.
Thank you, Laura. It was pleasure to have you here with us today. We also have some other community friends with us today who I'd like to recognize. Clive is our neighbor who join us every year for last many years to celebrate Canada Day with us. I'd like to ask him to come and say a couple of words. We have a timer on, Clive.
Yeah. You might need it. I moved out to Cumberland some 40 years ago, and when I came here, this was a school. And if my wife had not been a devout Roman Catholic Francophone, my kids would have come to this school. Then the school was moved off to the new building over in Navan, and this building was empty for many years, and the community was quite concerned about what was going to happen to it. And then the Muslim community came in. At first, our concern was a Muslim community. And then we got to know them. And we have found that they have been the friendliest, the most accepting, the most willing participants in the trade of Muslims because of the happy relationship we have built up with this community. We use this building for market day at Christmas and at special events because we have so many people and so many vendors, and they are happy to help us out. We use this building, or they invite us to be part of their Canada Day celebrations. And yes, I have enjoyed many meals over there on Canada Day. And that is very much part of what we feel happy about in this community, with the welcome that we have offered you and you have offered us. And we think this is very much what Canada is all about. People from diverse backgrounds welcoming each other into their lives. Having said that, yes, happy Canada Day, and let's all enjoy it and hope that next year we can get back to the feast around the corner.
Thank you very much, Clive. I really hope so. We can go back to the normal and have the barbecue for the whole community here starting from next year. So that being said, every year we hold free barbecue for our neighbors and friends. So this year, because of the health crisis, we decided to donate the money to our fellow Canadians who are finding it hard to go through these difficult times. I'd like to request the presidents of Ottawa chapter, Hamed Salam Alada from Ottawa West, and Wasim Mahmood from Ottawa East to both, and please come and present the check to Trisha Johnson from Ottawa Food Bank. And after the check is presented, I'll ask Trisha to say a couple of words.
On behalf of the Ottawa Food Bank and the 39,000 clients we serve in Ottawa every month, I'd like to say thank you very, very much. This gift will help us purchase food that is healthy and nutritious to people 5 days a week throughout the community. We couldn't do it without help from the community, so thank you very, very much for thinking of your neighbors in need.
Thank you, Trisha. We also, one of our good friends, MPP Stephen Blay, was not able to join us today, so he has sent the video message. So I will send it back to Sarmat Saab to play his message, and then Sarmat Saab, you can continue with the program.
Thank you very much, Fahim. I will share the video now.
Hey, it's Stephen Blay, the MPP for Orleans. I wanted to say hello and wish everyone a very happy Canada Day. Thank you to the AMJ for hosting this amazing virtual Canada Day celebration to give everyone an opportunity to come together and share our joy and love and appreciation for living in the best country on earth and celebrating everything that it means to be Canadian. So thank you to AMJ again for everything you do in the community and for hosting today. I hope everyone has an amazing day with family and friends and is able to get out and enjoy the beautiful summer weather. Happy Canada Day, and I look forward to seeing everyone very soon.
Thank you to all the distinguished guests and Fahim Afan for letting all the guests say a few words. It is now time for us to know the role and contribution of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama during COVID-19 and how we are helping our friends, neighbors, and fellow Canadians in these difficult times. I will request Mr. Sinwan Bisharat to present this.
Assalamu alaikum. May the peace and blessings of God be upon you all. 2020, as we've all heard, has been an unprecedented year where we face a crisis like none ever before. So in this short presentation, I'll share some glimpses of the way and the contributions of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community during this pandemic. We know in Canada, more than 100,000 cases of coronavirus occurred, and more than 2 million people lost their jobs because of lockdown and other measures to help limit the spread of coronavirus. And moreover, we know that these job losses and the cases were disproportionately affected people from vulnerable communities. And we saw that our own lives were changed. Our businesses were closed. As we heard, our schools were put on hold. Our entire livelihoods were altered. And as families struggled to cope with this new reality, as members of faith communities, we also saw the closing of our mosques, our churches, our certain synagogues, and other places of worship. But while our mosques were closed, our hearts remained open. Guided by the leadership of the worldwide head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masood Ahmad, the Caliph of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Early on, when the lockdown started to occur in many different countries, he gave us a very important message reminding us of our religious and civic duty. He instructed Ahmadiyya Muslims across the world that whatever is possible for the welfare and help of people should be done. So bearing with this inspiration in mind, and while still observing precautionary measures, Ahmadiyya Muslims across the world began a campaign to help serve humanity. primarily led by our charitable division known as Humanity First. Across the world, we were able to, for example, distribute more than 190,000 personal protective equipment. More than 8 million meals provided to vulnerable families affected by food security. And more than 800,000 volunteers hours were spent supporting hospitals, food banks, vulnerable populations, and helping distribute some sanitation equipment and personal protective equipment. And this campaign, led by Humanity First Canada, also occurred in Canada and here at home, where more than 11 tons of food was distributed to vulnerable communities and vulnerable families. Members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in Ottawa tried to support this campaign through financial contributions, but also through donation of to food to these food banks. So across Canada, about 4,000 families received those basic food supplies and other necessities. And moreover, Humanity First led a campaign. Early on, we saw that many hospitals and frontline healthcare workers struggled to find personal protective equipment. So led by many young members of Humanity First, youth were able to produce and make their own personal protective equipment using their personal 3D printers and other personal devices, and help distribute thousands of these personal protective equipments to hospitals and healthcare facilities. And moreover, led by the youth division of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community here in Ottawa, as well as across Canada, we started a scheme known as Neighborhood Helper, where without any questions, without asking why a person needed help, anyone who needed help seeking support for prescriptions or groceries, or people who were unable to leave their homes because of being quarantined, they were able to call this helpline across coast to coast, and young members would be able to, within a day, within less than 24 hours, would be able to provide those essential services and essential goods. And right now, while this campaign is still going on, more than 3,000 families and individuals have been supported. And as I mentioned, this campaign also, and this scheme was also enacted in Ottawa here, where members were able to donate thousands of dollars helping people get and receive essential medicines and groceries. And several dozens of families were served here in Ottawa. And finally, we know that, as some of our guests previously mentioned, that while this time has been of immense tragedy and extreme heartache, we've also seen, working with our partners, none of these efforts have been done by ourselves. It's always been working with partners from across different political backgrounds, across different walks of life, and across different members of communities. We've come together working with different charities here in Ottawa. We work closely with the Southeast Ottawa Community Health Center, providing support to elderly families and elderly members. And we know that we can do this during this time. We can go through this together. We're in this together, and we hope that we can continue to serve humanity with the religious and civic duty that is ingrained in us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sinwan Bisharat. Very short and very powerful presentation. And now I would like to invite our regional president, Alimuddin Ahmed, for closing remarks. Then would like to request Imam Farhan Iqbal, who will lead us in silent prayers. Over to you, Alimuddin Saab.
Assalamu alaikum and happy Canada Day. First of all, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our honorable guest at Baitul Masih Mosque for being part of these great celebrations today with us in this fine morning. We have tried to remain now within the law, rather we are adhering to the laws and having very limited gathering over there. But in the past, you must all have been witnessed that we have over 1,000, approximately 1,500 gatherings over there, participants. So we would pray that again, as somebody was mentioning, live I believe, that we pray that we revert back to the same good days, inshallah. We are also thankful to all the viewers who are watching these celebrations on the YouTube, and you all are truly mean a lot to us. Special thanks to our neighbors, our community, Cumberland community, and we feel honored to be part of you. Our relations and interaction has grown a lot in the past years. With your assistance and the sponsors, we have been witnessing around, as I said earlier, more than 1,500 visitors, and it's all because of the confidence and the trust you have in us. It has, of course, indeed become a landmark event for the Cumberland. And so this year too, we never wanted to miss this opportunity, and we are holding this virtually. Of course, missing a lot of the other fun activities which were for the kids, and of course, the delicious and hot and spicy barbecue. Must be remembering all those who attended that. I've just placed, just to recall those days, I've just placed in background that how we used to enjoy that barbecue and that gathering. Now to add a few words, what Imam Farhan Iqbal, he said regarding our fourth caliph, His Holiness, the fourth caliph of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama, Hazrat Mirza Tahir Ahmad. He said that I pray that Canada becomes the whole world and the whole world becomes Canada. We strongly believe and we pray that it is because we have a better model to show the world today. That's about our diversity, the strength as our diverse group. Our diversity has become a source of strength. It's a unified strength of almost 38 million Canadians coming from all walks of life. That we come from different parts of Canada, different countries of origin, that we come from all races, we come from different or all backgrounds, gender, makeups, and upbringings. Here, the power and strength of this diversity comes together and blend us into a stronger and better human being and a nation where humanity and justice prevails and remains the dominant factor. These are our values, and this is the need of today, the world over. At the end, once again, on behalf of organizers, I thank the dignitaries, our neighbors, and all our views on the YouTube also. I also thank the organizers for making the arrangements for this wonderful celebration and giving us opportunity to come together and celebrate it once again. Missing part is the fun activities, of course, for the kids and barbecue. Next time, inshallah, God willing, we'll be doing it. However, we do have something for the kids, and Mr. Samad is going to announce at the end. I also take the opportunity to pay special thanks to the ladies who came forward and helped us in preparing the kids for the national anthem, which you just watched. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on God for thee. Thank you very much, and over to Farhan Iqbal.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. It is our tradition to end the programs with a short prayer. So you can join however you feel comfortable. It's going to be a silent prayer. So I request all of us to join together in a silent prayer. Ameen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This concludes our program, and thanks everyone for joining us. For a quick announcement, I would request all viewers who are watching us online to please come visit the Baitun Nasir Mosque to retrieve gift bags which were prepared for the children. This would be a drive-by, so please make your way there. Members will be there to hand deliver them to your cars. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
stand on
Well, thank you,
guard
everybody.
for
We have a
thee.
cake for everybody, for everyone inside. Let's go and enjoy the cake. And thank you very much, Amanda, for joining us today.
Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Thank you for inviting me. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much for your time, and we really
I have to come and visit you soon.
yes, definitely. Hopefully, when this is over, it would have been nice if you could have made it on site, but I know there's limitations.
Yes, well, next event for sure, I'll be there. We're sitting in the